And if everyone starts to jump on, that would be awesome. Because this is recorded, I'm going to go ahead and just introduce myself. I know you ladies already know me, but for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jeanette Stoneman. I'm in qualification to be area manager. I am a jack of all trades. So I'm a mother to 4 children, all under the age of 8 down to 3. I have an amazing supportive husband. I'm a fitness instructor by day, and at night I work in a restaurant as a manager/server. So I'm a poster child for someone that couldn't possibly have any more time in their day. But when you have a vision and truly believe in something, you will fill the nooks and crannies of your life with a vision that you want to achieve. I officially started my business in January of this year, and I am constantly working on personal development and so open to tools and information on how to make my entire team successful. So I'm so excited to share Eric Worre's Go Pro, 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. So the first thing that you need to know to do this challenge or to be successful, I do recommend 2 books. So I'm going to hold one up. It's Eric Worre's Go Pro is one. And then the other is this Ultimate Memory Jogger. So with the Ultimate Memory Jogger, you can actually get that as a PDF file. You can get it from your upline. And if your upline doesn't have it, I'm sure she will. But you can also go to Andy Arby's success page, and there will be a link for that. So what I did is you can either print it, but I sent mine straight to, hey Laura, I sent mine straight to FedEx Kinko's, had a coupon, and I printed it for less than $10, okay? So I recommend those 2 books. So I'm gonna start off though with something that I learned from Tamlin Samuel. If you went to GTC, you heard her speak on stage, and if you didn't, I highly recommend downloading or listening to anything by Tamlin Samuel. She's amazing, she's from Australia. So I wanna give credit where credit's due. She got this information from another MVP, and it's called the 4 quadrants of communication. So write this down. You must have these 4 things when asking someone to look at the business. You must state a fact, a belief, a feeling, and an ask. I'll say that again. Fact, belief, feeling, and an ask. So I'm going to give you an example. Beth, I know that I've talked to you about my Arbonne business more than a few times. Fact. But I truly believe that this business could be a perfect fit for you because you are so motivating, love to help people, and you can think outside of the box. That's your belief. I'm so excited to be able to share this opportunity with you. Feeling, because you're excited. Would you be open to grabbing some coffee sometime next week? And that's your ask. So those 4 things, you want to keep it simple. I'll give you another example. This could be somebody that you met just recently. You may not know so much about her, so we'll do another example. Cindy, I know we just recently met, and I told you that I own my own business with Arbonne International. That's your fact. But after learning that you own your own Pilates studio, I truly believe that this business could add some extra residual income to your company. Belief. I'm excited to be able to share how you can do this along with running your own studio without having to stock inventory or giving up your precious time. That's your feeling. Is there a good time next week where I can drop off some samples and chat for about 10 to 20 minutes about this opportunity? That's your ask, okay? So you want to keep it short, you want to keep it simple, and you want to keep the fact down to 1 to 2 sentences. Keep them intrigued. If they say no, then don't get freaked out. Just move on and think strategically versus emotionally. Just remember, this is your business, and the moment you feed off of it with emotion, that's what starts to bring you down, okay? So think strategically and think of another way. So if they say no to that, then say, hey, you know, I have some product that I would love for you to sample and get your feedback on. So at least you can maybe get some product in their hand. I'm gonna unmute you just in case anyone has a question while I'm talking. Sorry about that. All right, does anyone have questions so far? No?
Oh, I do.
Okay, go ahead, Laura.
Sorry, I'm running late.
That's okay.
Screaming baby again. So when you were saying that, you said that was Tamlin Samuel?
Yes.
Where did you hear that training, or what was the name of it, or where did you find it?
Okay, so Tamlin Samuel was at GTC, and I fell in love with her 60-second story. So if none of you have heard of the 60-second story, this training is also from Tamlin Samuel, and I'm going to touch on the 60-second story in a little bit as well. But she's an MVP that talked at GTC, so that's how I got the information. And from the 60-second story, I just went to SoundCloud, and I just Google searched, not Google searched, but searched her name in SoundCloud and popped and read anything that she did for training.
Okay, so the 4 quadrants, that piece, would that be like her training that she did at GTC? So if I look at the source,
that wasn't on there.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
So that one was on SoundCloud?
Yep, on SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. All right. So now we're going to focus on the GoPro book, okay? Sorry if I keep looking down on this, but I had to write everything down. So some rules you need to know before you get started, and there are 4 of them. So if you want to write this down, this is a great time, and I'll slow down. So number 1, you want to emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. So emotionally detach yourself. Your goal is to educate and to understand, not getting a new customer, a new consultant, or sales, okay? So your focus is to educate them and make them understand the products you're trying to give them. Number 2, be yourself. Don't act like someone else when you're inviting. It only makes everyone feel awkward and uncomfortable. So when you start reading from a script and you're not yourself and you're talking to your friends, it's gonna feel really unnatural, and they're gonna look at you kind of weird, right? It's because you're kind of like a robot, like reading something. So make it from the heart. Number 3, you wanna have passion. Have passion, have enthusiasm. Your excitement will be contagious. Smile on the phone. So I'm gonna give you an example. If you're calling someone, and let's say you've already been doing the business for a year, and you're like, hi, Sarah, I started my business and it's been a year, but I really need you to do a party for me. It'd be really great if you could do that. Now, if someone called me with that, I'd be like, oh my, okay, like thinking. But if someone said, hey, I started my business a year ago and I'm relaunching it. I'm super excited about what I'm doing and I really want to share this with you. That is passion, okay? So I want you to speak with passion when you're doing this, and that will catch on to them. Number 4, you want to have a strong posture. Be bold, be strong, be confident. Be yourself, but be a bolder you, be a stronger you, and be a more confident you. So you got to dig deep and find these things, but you can master these 4 things. Okay? Are you ready to move on? All right. So now that we have those 4 rules established, these are the 7 steps when inviting. Because inviting people to look at the business can be scary, right? But it's a skill that we need to learn. If you are afraid to ask, you need to master that skill, because if you don't master that, guess what's going to happen to your business? It's not going to boom as fast as you want it to, right? Because that's the only way we grow. Networking means asking, getting the word of mouth out there. All right, so now that we have the 7 steps, I'm going to list them through. I just want to point out we have 2 markets. You have a warm market. Those are the people that you know, your friends, your family, friends of friends. That's your warm market. A cold market is someone that you just randomly meet, or you're meeting a playmate's mother for the first time. That is your cold market, a business card that you get here and there, okay? Now your goal every day is to meet 2 new people, and you add them to your list. Meet 2 people, add them to the list. It's a contact. You could be in the grocery store, waiting in line. Give them your card and get their info. It could be someone that you see at the gym every day. Just go up to them, talk to them. So don't be afraid to make new contacts. Okay, so number 1, the first bullet point we're going to go over, the first step, you want to be in a hurry. Be in a hurry. Why? Because if you act like you're in a hurry, you'll find your invitations will be shorter. There will be fewer questions, less resistance, and people will be more respectful of you and your time. For an example, I'm running out the door and only have a few minutes to chat. Do you have 5 minutes? Or I'm glad I got in touch with you. I have a million things I'm doing right now, and I really want to chat just for a few. Do you have a quick sec? So do you guys get the idea? Set the tone of being in a rush, and that you do not have time. For me, I truly don't have time, so this scenario kind of works well with me. Number 2, you want to compliment the prospect. This is critical, okay? So compliment. Number 2, compliment. Make it sincere. It will open the door for communication and will make more people agreeable to listening to what you have to say. And speak from the heart. Don't say the same thing to every person as if you're reading from a script. If it's someone you know, list these things and tell them the things that you admire about them and say it with confidence. You like being complimented, right? So if you're calling someone and asking them to look at the business and you're saying, I just really look up to you. You're really nice. It needs to be with what I said, confidence, right? So you need to say, hey, I think you'd be a perfect fit for this business because you're a motivating person. I look up to you because you know time management and you get along with everybody, and I admire that about you. So do you see the difference when you say something with conviction? It's more convincing, but it needs to come from the heart, okay? So number 3, make the invitation. Now, there are 3 kinds of invitations in network marketing. You have your direct approach, your indirect approach, and then your super indirect approach. So we're going to quickly go over these. Your direct approach, this is what you use when you're inviting people to learn more about an opportunity for them. For an example, when your friend is always complaining to you, here we go. Do you know or this could be someone that wants to own their own business, that they've been telling you this. So you can say, do you know how you're always talking about owning your own business one day? Were you serious? Because I found a way for you to start your own business without having a huge overhead or inventory. Okay, so you can open it up that way. That's your indirect approach. Or it could be a good friend that you hear that gripes about their job every single day. You can say, when you talk about how much you hate your job, were you being serious? Or were you just venting? Because I think that I found a way for you to diversify your income and eventually replace your former salary. So do you see how easy those 2, you can do it that way with the indirect. Now for a cold market, if you didn't know this person and you're just trying to get them on the phone, you can always start with, have you ever thought of diversifying your income? So it could be something as simple as that. Or do you think outside of the box when it comes to building a business? So you can always word it that way too. Now your indirect method, this method helps to get people past their initial resistance and educate them on the products that you have to offer. So if you're one of those people that are afraid to ask, and we've all been there, especially if you're newer to the business, you can do it in the indirect way. And the indirect way could be when you're booking a party, okay? I just started my own business and I'm really nervous. Before I get my feet wet, I need to practice, and I feel really comfortable doing this in front of my friends and family that can give me honest feedback. Would you be open to getting some friends together in the next few weeks so that I can get some hands-on practice and training? So you see how that's like your indirect approach. You're getting them to help you out, okay? Now your super indirect approach, this is more psychological. So this is what you would use if you think someone would be good at the business, but you really don't know what to say to them. So you can do this in this way. You do it psychologically. Hey, I know this business isn't clearly for you, but I wanted to ask you, who do you know that's hardworking, ambitious, money motivated, and would be excited to add more cash flow to their income or to their lives? So when people hear that, they're sometimes saying, oh, does she not think I'm ambitious? Does she not think I'm money motivating? So then they're going to be like, oh, what is this that you're trying, to show? What business is this? And that's when you show or send them that opportunity video. Are you guys with me so far? Any questions? No? Okay. All right. Let me see where I am. Sorry. Number 4. If I, would you? So example for hosting a party. If I gave you $175 worth of product, would you then be willing to get some friends together for a fun, exciting girls' night out sampling Arbonne's yummy nutritional line and doing facials. Now, sometimes what I do, ladies, is instead of the I give you $175 for 25, sometimes I, to get book parties, will say, if I give you $175 for the product for free, then would you be willing? So you can do it in one of two ways, and it's your business, so I want you to run it how you want to, but that's something else that I do. Another if I would you example would be, if I gave you a link to watch a video, would you watch it? If I invited you to an opportunity meeting, would you attend? So those are some other scenarios. Now, number 5, confirmation number 1, get the commitment. So what you can do this, you can say, when do you think you could watch the link for sure? Now, a big mistake that I was making before was setting the time for them. So I would give them the link, and then I would say to them, if I call you tomorrow at this time, would that work for you? I would give them a couple of times. So from GoPro, I learned do not do that because of this reason. You want them to set the appointment. You want them to think, what do I have on my calendar to make this happen, okay? My little thing saying my internet connection is unstable. Can you all still hear me? Okay. All right. So don't suggest a time for them. Just ask the question and wait for the response, because that way they will have to evaluate their personal commitments and their availability. And this is what makes the commitment real, okay? Now, 90% of these people will give you an answer. The other 10% will be vague. They'll be saying, they might say, I'll try to do it sometime next week, or I'll let you know later. And we hear that a lot, right? Sometimes we don't hear anything either. So if that's the case and they say that, you can also say, I don't want to waste your time or mine, so why don't we just lock down a time when you'll see it for sure? I know that seems kind of forward, but just remember it's a business, okay? These aren't our friends that we're trying to make happy every second. We do want to make them happy, but we also want to show them that we're running a legitimate business too. So number 6, there's a confirmation part 2. So that confirmation part 2 is confirming that time commitment with them. So the great thing at this point is that this isn't an appointment you set. It's an appointment they set. So all you're going to do is just repeat what they say. Number 7, step 7, is schedule the next call. All right, schedule the next call. And then number 8, you want to get off the phone. So once you confirm the appointment, get off the phone, because you're in a hurry, right? You told them you're in a hurry. So all you say, it's great, we'll talk then, gotta run. So keep it short and sweet. Sometimes what happens is we get really nervous and we just keep talking, right? Because we don't know what to say. So the best thing to do is just let it go and call them on the time that you said you would. Are we all here so far? Any questions? All right. So the next part of this whole entire thing is the follow-up. We love the follow-up, right? I think it's Laura Bodie's favorite part. She loves the follow-up. So the follow-up to me is one of the toughest things to do because now you've got them looking at the video, and sometimes we get stuck on things to say. So number 1, when you do your follow-up, if you set a specific time, you need to respect them and call them at that time. Don't call them 5 minutes later. If they say 7, you make it 7 because they made a commitment to you, so you need to make that commitment with them, okay? Number 2, the only reason to have an exposure is to set up the next one. So when they review the material and you ask, what do you like best, don't say, what do you think? When you say, what do you think, you open a can of worms. So you say, what did you like the best? What did you like the best? And if they say product, then your second exposure is going to give them samples and maybe set up a sneak peek, okay? Now, if they say financial freedom, then that's when you want to invite them to one of our monthly meetings, okay, and get them exposed. You can also do a sneak peek as well. Now, number 3, with the follow-up, it takes 4 to 6 exposures for the average person to join a business of network marketing. So you need to build a strong relationship with these prospects. Have patience. Now, the Now, a network professional, believe it or not, they get these 4 to 6 exposures, and guess how much time, if you had to guess? 1 week. Some of us, it takes a lot longer, right? Because we're giving them product. We're kind of nursing and coaching them for about a month. A professional does it in 1 week. So as you learn the lingo and you get it down, it's going to be second nature. They're going to see your enthusiasm, and you're just going to feed them more material, and it'll become more natural. So I think in the beginning, I will be honest, I don't think it runs in a week. I think it takes time to get this lingo down and to get that confidence. But I think once you do, regardless if you do it sponsor 20 in 30 or sponsor 20 in 60 days, you just get better and better and better at it, okay? All right, let me see what I have on my next page. All right, so some things I want to go over are objections and questions. So you're going to get a lot of objections, right, when we're talking to our prospects. Some of them, I'm going to give you two main ones that I hear. I don't have the money right now, okay? I hear that a lot. I also hear, I don't have time. I'm not a salesperson. I don't know anyone. Do you all hear, I'm sure, the same things, right? We hear that all the time. So I'm going to tackle the first one. I'm going to give you an example, and then you could reword it however you want. So when people tell me I don't have money right now, I relate with them because we've all been there. We're all doing this for extra income, right? None of us are millionaires yet, but we will be, but not yet. So you reply with something like this. You know what? I had that same exact challenge, and I was barely paying my bills. And the last thing that I thought I could take on was a new business. But when I thought about it, how was I going to change the situation I was in if I just kept doing what I was doing? I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck and being stretched thin. So you know what I did? I found a way, and it was the best decision that I've made, and I haven't looked back. So let me ask you something. If you really felt this was a chance for you to take control of your financial future, do you think you could find a way to make that happen? All right, so that's an example. So you can always say it like that, or you can word it in a whole different way, but my message is make it relatable to somebody. Dig deep and just bond with them over it and let them know that, hey, you've had those issues too. Now, the other thing that I hear about as well is that we're a pyramid scheme. Okay, I hear that a lot, like, oh, they do that face, oh, network marketing. And so, you know what, talk to them about it. Say, oh, were you in a network marketing company before? And why don't you tell me about that? Share that with me, you know, and listen to what they have to say. And then after, let's just say they tell you their story, and just ask them blankly, do you feel that you gave it your 100%? Do you feel that you gave it everything that you had? Did you give it a fair shot? Or did you just rely on someone else to do the work for you? Be honest. And they're going to probably say, you're right, I didn't. Or you can say, it may not have been the right time for you. But if you had the proper education and leadership, would you reconsider this business again? You know, so make it positive for them. And if let's say they never had an experience with network marketing, let's just say their experience is a stereotype, because network marketing does have a stigma behind it. So if that's the case, educate them, because remember, rule number 1 was to educate and to understand. So if you let them know what network marketing is and that this is a third door of making money, then they may look at it in a whole different light. So educate them. The other thing I hear too is, I don't want to bother my friends. I hate bothering my friends. I don't want to feel like my friends have to do this. So this is how I relate with them. I say, what makes you think you're going to be bothering your friends? Because if you truly believe in a product, would you let your friends know about it? And if I could show you how to share these products without it feeling or sounding like a sales pitch, would that help you? So I just want to give you an example. When we fall in love with something, let's say we fell in love with a restaurant, and we're like, oh my gosh, I love Taza Kitchen so much. The food is awesome. We're making a recommendation, right? But we don't feel like a weirdo then. Or if you got your hair done in a salon, you're like, oh my gosh, I love my stylist, Derek. He's awesome. You're recommending things because you love it. So if you love our products, you should be recommending them too without feeling like a weirdo, because you truly want your friends to experience what you're loving. So I just wanted to share that with you. All right, so I want you to write this part down. This is really important. This part is called the 4-question close. So when you give somebody an opportunity video, you really want to follow up with these 4 questions. Number 1,
I really don't want to listen to this.
based on what you've just seen, if you were to get started with this company on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Okay? So based on what you just seen, if you were to get started with the company on part-time basis, how much would you want to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Number 2, approximately how many hours could you commit each week to develop that kind of income? And number 3, how many months would you work those kind of hours in order to develop that kind of income? And number 4, if I could show you how to develop an income of X dollars per month working X hours a week over the course of X months, would you be ready to get started? So I usually use this when I ask them on a scale of 1 to 10 what you are. If they say a 6, then I ask these questions. And then after I ask that 4th one, when I repeat everything they had said, I said, if I can show you how to do this, 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 and this, would then that make you a 10 on the scale with proper education and guidance while you join the business? And usually they will say, you know what, yes. Yes, I would do the business then. And just because they say, yes, I would do the business doesn't mean they're going to jump right in, okay? They're just saying, yeah, I would. All right, so that right there is my GoPro tips, all in a wham bam quickness. So I highly recommend get GoPro. Now I'm going to end with this other thing that I learned that helped me a lot by Tamlin Samuel. It's the 7 skills for success. So I'm going to give you an example. If you're a basketball player, you're going to need skills, right? You got to know how to dribble the ball. You know, you need to know how to communicate with your coach, shoot a basket, 3-point shooters, how to aim, right? Those are all skills. The same thing with riding a bike. You need to know how to push the pedals, steer the wheel, control the bike, look at signs. The same thing with driving. So you get the point. We need to know skills. So I'm going to tell you the 7 skills that you need to know and master in Arbonne, because this is from Tamlin Samuel. You need to also practice your 60-second story. I'm not going to do it for you because Tamlin does such a great job. So look up Tamlin Samuel 60-second story. It's awesome. This is not your why. Your 60-second story is something completely different. You use that when people randomly say, hey, what do you do? You know, so I'll give you my example of my 60-second story. My 60-second story is this. I'm a fitness instructor by day, and at night I work in a busy restaurant as a manager/server. I love being in the fitness industry. Helping people look and feel great about themselves is super rewarding, but working nights, weekends, and holidays is exhausting on my family of 6. But then I found Arbonne. It's a network marketing company that I never, ever thought that I would do. But once I did my research on it, I just had to do it. And since I've jumped in, I am just so grateful for the opportunities that it's offered me and my family, and I haven't looked back. And I'm just so excited to be able to share this with anyone that wants to change what they're doing and what they want in life. So that's my 60-second story. All right, so let's get on with the 7 skills for success. Number 1, connecting and booking meetings. Remember that 4 quadrants of communications? This is where that falls into. All right? So I want you to feel passionate as well. You can also say this: I feel super passionate about you hearing about this opportunity, and I'm just asking for a half hour of your time to hear about Arbonne. It can be as simple as that. I feel passionate about you hearing about this opportunity, and I'm just asking for a half hour of your time to hear about Arbonne. Number 2, the second skill you need to know is presenting the opportunity. Be excited to share this. Print the opportunity presentation. You are you. Remember that. They remember how you made them feel. When they leave that 30-minute present opportunity one-on-one, they're probably not going to remember too much of the slides, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. They're going to remember the excitement that you gave them and showed them. Hold on really quick. I'm going to mute everyone again. There we go. All right, so just the other thing too with the opportunity presentations that I've done, sometimes we don't know what to say at one-on-ones. You know, we're reading the slides and we want to find the most effective way because we only get in front of these people one time, right? So we want it to make it the best lasting impression that we can. So what I've been doing is I just Google Arbonne opportunity presentations and I just listen to numerous NVPs and how they do it, and even, you know, Lynn Puana's, and I take a little bit from here and a little bit from there and I make it into me, but by listening to them, I find the pivotal moments that are like, wow, she summed that up in just one sentence versus me just rambling on to make my point. So it's nice to hear them because they have years of experience and you could borrow those words. This business is about being a copycat, right? So be a copycat. If you like everything they say and you just want to use that until you find your own you, then use it. Copy what they're saying. All right, so that's number 2, that second skill, presenting the opportunity. Number 3, the follow-up. You have to master the follow-up. So most people do not sign up, like I said, right away. It takes 4 to 6 exposures. So if that means getting them to opportunity meetings, the car presentation tomorrow, giving them samples, those are all exposures. Now, if you're one of those people like me that just jumped in, it's not normal, okay? So if you're that person and you're not getting the results that you want, have patience, because sometimes you just have to keep dripping Arbonne on them, okay? And don't be forceful. Be, you know, sit back, respect their space, but just drip that on them. Number 4 is sponsoring and launching. Sponsoring and launching. That's going to build your business. Now, people are going to experience fear. It's normal. You experienced it. I experienced it. Everyone does. So what you need to do as their upline, you need to get in front of their network quickly. Their excitement when they first start, you need to get a training session with them within 72 hours. I know that sounds kind of forceful, but that's something that I learned from Tamlin Samuel. The rah-rah is awesome. I can rah-rah you all day, right? I can say, you're doing awesome, you're doing so good, keep doing this. But if you're not doing the ask and I'm not training you the proper way to build a business, you're going to fizzle fast. You're going to fizzle fast and you're not going to believe in this business because your sponsor isn't showing you what to do. So once you get them signed in, if you want to build your business, you cannot let them go in the dark. You need to be glued to them for at least 30 days. You need to be available for them. If they're at their meetings, if they're booking one-on-ones, you need to be there and you need to show them how to do it successfully so that they can show their new people how to do this. So that rah-rah can last so long, but if you're teaching them and educating them on how to build a team successfully, that is going to stay with you for a lot longer than that rah-rah, okay? So that's number 4. All right. Number 5, that training and coaching. So if you do not have any training tools, if you're like, oh my gosh, what is Jeanette talking about, these training tools? I wasn't given any of these training tools. Ask your upline, but you know what? Think like an MVP. You are an MVP. If you think like an MVP, let's say you don't want to be an MVP. You want to be an RVP, then think like an RVP. If you don't want to be an RVP and you want to be an AM, then think like an AM. Be a leader. The moment you think you're a leader, you will be a leader. So think like one. Google this stuff. All this information, you can Google it. You can Google things. You can go to other MVPs' websites. You can borrow their information. They have tons of resources. So on your downtime when you go to work, don't listen to the radio. Plug in. Listen to SoundCloud. Listen to these people's stories, their trainings, and memorize them. And just do it yourself. So I'm just going to say it again. So your upline is there to support you, but this is your business. So make it your own. They can hold your hand for a little bit, but be the MVP and lead your team, okay? Number 6, goals, planning, and time management. Now, I learned my goals. I never really knew how important they were until I heard Jessie, and this is why it's so great to come to the meetings, because Jessie may not think it impacted many people, but it impacted me. So I know just from coming to that meeting, that you need to set your goals. Work on each day until it becomes a habit. Set daily, monthly, weekly, yearly goals. Make a dream calendar. If you want to go to GTC next year, put it on the calendar. If you want to be a regional vice president, put it on your dream wall, or whatever you're making, make it a reality. Put it on there, make it happen. Turn off your phone. So when you're doing your business and you're setting aside a certain amount of time, if you're constantly checking your phone, checking emails, it's taking away time from your business. Put your phone away in a drawer where you can't see it and solely focus on your business. All right, number 7, personal development. Now, some of you are like, what is this personal development? I don't know what personal development is. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing, and it's not hard either, okay? But you have to work on your bad habits. You have to commit on reading positive things that are going to help you and your team be successful. Because remember, this isn't about you anymore. If you want to be successful in Arbonne, this business becomes about others, helping others. The minute that you can start thinking this business is helping, you will go far, because it's not about selling product. It really isn't. When you hear that this business is a gift, it really is a gift. And once that clicks in your brain that this is a gift that you can give others, then I promise the pieces of this puzzle will come together for you. So something that I learned from Tamlin, because this is from her, is that she said she doesn't know one MVP that doesn't work on personal development. So I personally just go on the source and I read my Eye on Arbonne stories. I read those, or I just Google stuff and read anything that's positive about other Arbonne consultants. I mean, you can get a lot off the source, a ton of stuff, especially if you have friends that are police officers, teachers. You can Google an Eye on Arbonne story that's just police officer or chef or realtor, and they will pop up. So you can always read those, so that way you can send your friend one of those so they can relate with it. All right, so these are some top tips. Create a massive sense of urgency. Pack up your team and get off the runway. So 100% of what you do is effort. It is not fair for your team to sit on that runway. You've got to lift them and take them up into the sky, okay? So lift your team, give 100%. You want to coach, you want to train, you want to mentor and your support, and you want to sponsor a few. I say sponsor a lot. You want to reboot your business, and you want to pack that plane, and you want to lift off. So if you've been in this business for a year, 2 years, whatever amount of time, and you want to restart, you can. You can do it. Relaunch your business if that's you, okay? Lead by example and be true to yourself. Don't expect your team to do the work for you. Earn perfect brick every month. Lead by example, because if you're making perfect brick every month, your team's going to want to earn their perfect brick every month, okay? But if you're not doing it and you're telling them to do it, that's not very motivational, right? So earn your perfect brick. Be your independent consultant, but be the best independent consultant. And do not compare. Don't compare yourself to others, okay? This is your business. Compare yourself to you. Set your goals and make them happen. And don't ever blame your team. Don't ever blame your upline. This is your business. And then write clear-cut goals. Write them down and just be passionate. And that right there, ladies, did I go over the 30 minutes? A little bit. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that is pretty much it for GoPro and everything else. And I'm just really, really excited to share this with you all. So thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions or comments, I'm going to unmute you all really quick. All right. Do you guys have any questions or comments right now?
All right.
Is anyone on?
I'm not on. Hi, Julia Jane.
Hey, Dina.
I can't get my picture.
Hi, Dina.
But that was awesome, Jeanette.
Thank
my
you.
goodness. I know everyone else. Julia Jane smiling the same thoughts I'm saying. That was fantastic. What a leader. Talk about leading yourself first. Excellent.
Thank you. Well, I hope you guys got some stuff from there. Was I going too fast or?
No,
Okay.
you're perfect. Thank
Yay.
you.
Awesome. All right, ladies. Well, I have these notes, so I'm gonna prepare them, like, and maybe give them to Dina to put in your Dropbox, Dina, if you want that.
That would be great. All right,
Okay.
I finally figured out how to get my video on now that we're
Oh,
done.
yay. Awesome.
Everybody, anyone can do these things. Yeah, I would love for you to send me that. I know.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I'm so glad I was able to get on. Thanks for sharing with all of us.
Yes, thank you. Is there Jessie? I see a wall. Oh, I guess she's not on. All right. Well, you ladies have a great night. Thank you for hanging out.
Thanks. See you tomorrow night.
Oh, yes, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I'm excited.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Everyone, love you all.